What, this? Yeah. It's.
Hi, Bardi.
How are
It's
you?
so good to see you again.
How are things?
Good.
Where do you live?
LA.
LA.
Yeah, but I go to Hawaii a lot. But what I wanted to talk to you about was asking and gratitude. And I want to grab one of the new sneakers if you have one.
Yeah,
because
sure.
You had told me specifically back in LA that you would not have had the shoes if you hadn't asked.
Because it's similar to the way I think about jab, 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 right hook. Like you feel like too many people fear the ask.
Yeah.
Is that the thought?
So this is the deal. The reason I wanted to get with you today is talk to you about asking and gratitude and just have a conversation. Because my biggest problem on the internet is people not asking and they think it's rude and not showing gratitude. You are all about kindness, 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 and I'm all gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's the
Same shit.
Okay, just different words.
Yep.
So when I met you we've known each other for 10 years, but when I saw you in LA, and you said the reason you got the K-Swiss deal was because you asked.
Yep.
And what people don't get is asking is a form of gratitude. When you ask, you're allowing someone to give back to you. And all these people go around saying they're grateful, but they don't want to ask. They think it's rude, so you aren't grateful.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something. I've spent a lot of time thinking about, listen, one of my favorite books I've written is Jab, 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 Right Hook. It's give, 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 and then ask. And my point when I wrote it, or how I think about asking and gratitude, is very unique, which is I think people unfortunately fall into one of two categories. They give with expectation, which means they're not giving, or they give and they actually, to your point, are scared to ask. And so I was trying to basically help people who are always asking, or to be honest with you, in our terminology, taking, or right? Take. I was trying to say, give, ask. And then you have other people who give, and then are scared to ask. So what ends up happening is they're in the give, and that ultimately breaks down too. I think there's a sense of ego and pride and insecurity that plays out in people who don't ask. And I think the other thing you have to be prepared for. So one of the reasons I'm willing to ask, sell, hey guys, buy my sneaker, is because I'm okay if the answer is no.
But you know what? Most people will say yes to you because somebody said yes to them. When people ask, I said this on TV, most people will say yes to you because somebody said yes to them.
That's interesting. Or the way I think a lot about it is people will say yes because they're in a position to say yes at that time. I've thought a lot about moments in time. Like, it's a mental thing, right? Like I have plenty to give, but if God forbid tomorrow my father was diagnosed with something, and I'm not in the mindset to say yes.
Exactly.
So I think it's moments. There's that kind of saying like, it's just business, it's not personal, all these things. I think a lot of those come from a cold place, but it's interesting how I've manifested it into a warm place, which is I don't judge people pretty much at all because I just don't know what's happening at that moment.
Well, you don't know what's happening in their life. I mean, what I shared with you in LA when I had 6 people pass on me in 2 years, nobody knew that. I mean, I still went out there and my book became a bestseller and everything, but I was in pain.
Yes.
I mean, and nobody knew. And the thing is, when you ask, you're allowing somebody else to give back to you. But the thing with myself is, when Forbes did a story on me, it's an interesting clip because it's how gratitude advances marketing and branding. And so I teach people, I teach corporations like VaynerMedia, how to use gratitude on social media, or how to use gratitude on social media. People come to me all the time, they're like, who's your PR person? I'm it because of asking and gratitude.
I get it.
But you and I get it, but nobody else gets it. And the biggest question I have is, once I get on social media, what do I say to these people? Well, use gratitude. It is lazy to like and retweet shit. I think it's lazy as hell. Make a comment. A comment is a form of gratitude. A friend request is an ask. But people are like, oh, I'm so scared because they're either intimidated by you or intimidated by me. And it's like, if you don't ask, you don't get.
That's right.
How I ended up here, how you ended up with the shoes, how you ended up with your corporation, your companies, is by asking in gratitude. But people don't get it.
No, and I think, I think all one can do is to continue to put out the content, right? I'm so not, miffed by the fact that, millions of people consume my content and don't do anything about it. To me, that doesn't slow me down from having passion to continue to put it out. How did you, let's go here a little bit. How did you stumble into it's funny, when I started pushing the word gratitude, it used to be thankful. I used to say to my mom all the time on the phone, I'm so thankful. And somewhere along the line, my vocab got better and I understood that the form was actually gratitude, and we talked about kindness earlier when they weren't on live. How did you stumble into the terminology of asking, when did it click for you? When did it start coming out of your mouth?
About 10 years ago. Michael Beckwith wrote the foreword of my book, which is Law of Attraction, and I realized that, asking is a form of gratitude. When you ask, you're allowing someone to get back to you, but nobody does it. And then I looked at
It makes so much sense to me because it's my favorite.
And the thing is, what I want to do is, I go out to corporate America, like salespeople, even entrepreneurs. Instead of them being sales, you always say it's not how much money you make, it's how you make the money. Is gratitude and asking. People come to me all the time and they're like, how have you been so successful? I'm like, really, it's gratitude and asking. And I teach corporations, entrepreneurs, sales forces how to use gratitude versus coming from a point of salesy. The money will come, but you got to put gratitude first. You have to get. It's just like what you're saying in your previous book. And so what I want to do is help people on social media and branding to go out there and ask. But I'll give you an example as far as gratitude with social media. It's like making a comment. It takes 1 freaking second to make a comment, and people say they don't have time. Because, I don't have time.
It's not that, it's that they're worried about judgment. Judgment is crippling people, but judgment is crippling people.
It's so messing people up, because the thing is, if you make one comment, that one comment can make you stand out. That's how I got in Forbes, how I've been on TV. The same thing with you. You make a comment, it takes 1 second. That makes you stand out. Liking and retweeting, I think, is lazy.
When did you first get into social?
Oh, God.
Do you remember?
1995.
But the modern day social, the Friendster, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, the 2.0,
Yeah, that was in 2005, 2006.
Was it Friendster or was it MySpace?
MySpace, Friendster, Friend Feed, all that. Remember that?
I do.
.fm, everything. The 2.0, I got into it then. But with the gratitude and the asking, it really hit me hard about 2008. About 2008. And that's all I've done. And people say it, how can gratitude, how can
be a
you use
business?
Gratitude? And it's like the article on Forbes is so good. It's not just, they actually asked me to do a webinar showing people how to use gratitude on social media. So I did. So if you go to Forbes and you type in my name, you'll see an article on giving examples like making comment, or even a long time ago, you probably don't remember this, I sent you a video, thanking you for what you're doing. One short 30-second video
You're preaching.
clip.
You're preaching.
I
believe in this the most.
One 30-second video clip
I get it.
can totally change your life.
One
but
wink
none
to
of you
somebody.
guys are doing this.
One wink.
Yeah.
One wink. One wink to a Twitter. The amount of people that tweet are will say something nice and I'll just reply with a heart. And they are so grateful. And listen, I wrote a piece a long time ago called the Ricky Henderson Rule.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's my life. When I was a 7, 8, 9-year-old, I don't remember exactly, but Ricky Henderson winked at me and here I am, 35 years later telling you that. So I get it. I believe in it the most.
Yeah, and what's funny is people, it's crazy the people that follow me and the people that follow you. When I started getting followed by Entertainment Tonight and American Airlines came to me, they're like, we'll sponsor you, well, Starbucks follows me. I mean, craziness. And I asked them, I said, why do you follow me? They said, because of your gratitude and because of your asking.
I love it.
You know, one comment, like people don't get it. I mean, I cannot preach this enough, like with your kindness and gratitude, is make a freaking comment, people. I mean, make
She's hitting it home. Give me this. I want to see it. She's pounding this home, guys. Like this is, like, Jacqueline, like, Kathy, Craig, like, make the comment or she's going to get pissed. That's just the reality.
Just like with Gary. No, I have to tell you something.
Please.
And we have to go here in a second.
Yeah, I got to run. I apologize, everyone.
Yeah,
Going to London.
Yeah, he's going to London. I'm going back to LA, I guess. But anyway, hold on a second. Here,
Okay.
have this back. But no, I would love to do something with you. I want to bring more women. I have a big issue, no offense to you women out there, but women are too afraid to ask. I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that. I have a lot of women that come to me. One of my clients is on American Idol saying, I'm afraid to ask. They don't ask because they're taught that asking is rude. Or
I get it.
Maybe it was a culture thing. I was raised, you know, I'm Russian. So it's like I was told girls were to be pretty, shut your mouth, sit there, be quiet.
I get it.
So I didn't have a voice.
I get it.
And it wasn't until, like I said, 2008, it's like I do have a voice and I am going to open my mouth. And so it's like people told me, oh, you're the female version of Gary without the cussing. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
You need to pick up the cussing.
Yeah, but
listen, I think that's right, and I think pushing.
Like I said,
I think.
To do something
Look,
with you as far as training people and freaking, you know, I mean, I'm huge on the gratitude, the asking. The asking is huge.
yeah, the asking thing is a really fascinating pillar for you to continue to explore, from my perspective. Like,
I wrote a book called The Power of Asking, and
I think
know
that's
that, and it's not about social media asking, it's asking in general.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when people say asking is rude, like what we talked about earlier, asking is a form of gratitude.
I get it.
You ask, you're allowing someone to give back to you.
Yeah.
You don't ask, you're going to be in the same,
place.
excuse my language, that you've
Curses.
been in. Well, I don't cuss like him.
But once in a while with me around. I adore you. I'm glad you made it here. Bye, everyone. It's great to see you. Great to see you. Have a great, great day.
Okay.